Hi guys, how are you, and welcome back to the channel. George here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at affordable 3-watch collections. I wanted to put this video together just to show you guys that you can still put a decent 3-watch collection together that won't cost you a lot of money, that has all the essentials to kind of get you going on that watch collecting journey. Or if you want to stop there, it's absolutely fine. And if you don't want to, you want to have these essential watches in your collection and you don't want to spend a lot more money, it's also fine. But I just want to show you guys that you can still do that. So the way this is going to work, I've selected 3 price points for what I think are affordable or achievable. So $50, $100, and $150. And per price point, I've selected 3 categories: dress, casual, and sports or beater watch. These are the categories that I think are essential in every watch collection, or it would be enough to kind of get you started. And the way this is going to work, let's say in the $50 price point, you have a dress watch that costs in around $50, and a casual watch that costs in around $50, and so on and so forth. Now let's just jump into it. So the first price point that we're going to start with is the $50 price point. And in the $50 price point, we have the dress category. So we're going to start with that. In the dress category, we have your friend and mine, the Cadisen C1032. You may be familiar with this because I have mentioned it. I have mentioned this in a couple of my videos, and I think this is the king when it comes to cheap watches, affordable watches. I think for someone that doesn't have a lot of money to spend for a dress watch, at this price point, this over delivers on all fronts. Forget about Seiko 5. You're looking at a sapphire crystal covering the 40mm case that houses the Seiko NH36 that we all learned to rely on at this time. With a thickness of 12mm, a lug width of 20mm, I think you shouldn't have any issues slipping this under the cuff of any shirt. And honestly, I think this watch is just like, since it first showed up on AliExpress or GearBest, it has stayed up there with one of the best watches that money can buy for around $55 to $60. And I have mentioned this before in the past, this goes below the $50 mark on the sale day. The second category that we have in the $50 price point is the casual category. And for the casual category, I've selected the Timex Weekender. This one comes at $49.95 and is the T2N893. Timex is often mentioned, I think, when we're talking about affordable day-to-day watches, and the Weekender is no exception, with a case diameter of 38mm, thickness of just 9mm, and a lug width of 20mm. The Weekender does a great job, in my opinion, honestly, at matching whatever casual choices one may have during the day in their wardrobe. It comes on an 8/0 strap, so that can be changed very, very easily with a minimum of effort. And I think when it comes to, affordability and just putting that into balance, Timex always manages to kind of do the right thing when it comes at these price points. So the next category that we have in the $50 price point is the sports category, and the sports or beater, or whatever you like to call it. And in this category, you have the Casio Twin Sensor SGW100-1V, and this one comes at on only $41.99. I chose this particular watch, it's just because, like I said, we're looking at value for money and features, and Casio somehow always manages to surprise us with the amount of functionality you can get for so little money. I could have featured a G-Shock, one of the DWs. You can still get it for I think in and around this or under $50, but I just didn't want to do that. I just wanted to keep it a bit more interesting, and again, wanted to put a lot of value and features. And I think this is something that hasn't been mentioned that often. This is functionality you get for so little money, like I said. And this watch is a little on the larger side, with a case of 48mm and a thickness of 13.5mm. Some of the main selling points of this watch are the fact that it is fitted with a digital compass and a thermometer. These added to the fact that it's also 200 meters of water resistant. I think you would be crazy not to consider this. It's not a G-Shock, but I think, in my opinion, it's not trying to be a G-Shock, and I think it's only like it's relying more on the features that are packed in for the same amount of money, and also that added to the fact that it is 200 meter water resistance. I just don't think you can get any better than that. And like I said, we are looking at value and functionality. So just so you know, guys, as you can see, you can still have and find interesting, quirky little watches for around $50. And as you can see, in the case of the Casio, the twin sensor, that's under $50. And I think if you go on eBay, you can pick something like that up for less than $41, which is incredible value for money. We're going to move on into the next category, which is the next price bracket, as I like to call it, which is the $100 price bracket. And for the $100 price bracket, we will start with the dress category. And in the dress category, we have the Citizen BM7190-05A. And this is an Eco Drive, and it comes in at $99.84. So the Citizen takes the dress watch category at this price point because, first of all, it's an Eco Drive. And in case you haven't seen that in my previous videos, I have a thing about Eco Drive. And like I said, I wanted value. And when I said I wanted value, I also included the fact that it is little to no maintenance. So with Eco Drive, you get that the movement is powered by any source of light. So the battery will last around 20 years or something like that. So picture that with something that you have to kind of service every 10 years. Still, I could have showed you guys another Bambino, but I honestly didn't want to go on that route. So this particular watch comes with a 40mm case, thickness of only 10mm, and a lug width of 22mm, which is kind of funky. The thing that made me pick this is that the off-white minimalist dial and that polished finish on the case makes it kind of look a bit retro, but at the same time it has that lovely elegance to it. And again, it's a Citizen, it's an Eco Drive. You cannot get any better than that, especially at this price point. The second watch that we have in the $100 price bracket is actually the second category is the casual category, and this one is taken by the Phoibos PX002C, and this is $119. For those of you that don't know, Phoibos is a micro brand that was started back in 2016, and every single model of the watch that they have launched was sold out on the website before it actually was properly released. They're known for delivering quality across the range. It doesn't matter how much it costs, like they're really good at that, and also applying infinite amount of lume. The watch that we have here today is a Rolex Submariner Homage, but slightly larger with a 42mm case, a thickness of 13mm. Even if it is quartz powered, it's still thick enough, I think, but it's okay. It's a bit of a chunky watch, but I think it does the job. All things considered, the quality finish case combined with a sapphire crystal ceramic bezel insert plus a 300 meters of water resistance should be enough to convince you that this is still an attractive piece. And also, I didn't mention the quartz powering this watch is a Swiss Ronda 505, so it's nothing super fancy. It's an entry-level Swiss quartz watch. Can't say that, Swiss quartz movement, but again, it is Swiss, and you are getting proper accuracy and proper quality. So the third category that we have in the $100 price bracket is the sports category, and this is taken by the G-Shock GBD 800 SF-1. I had to have a G-Shock. Now, let me start by saying that, again, I'm always impressed on how Casio manages to deliver in every price category. That's what they do. I said it before and I'll say it again as many times as I have to. This watch that we have in hand today is like all other G-Shocks. It's a bit on the larger side of a 49mm case, but it needs to be. It has a Bluetooth function and 200 meters of water resistance. It allows you to count your steps among other sports activities. The watch is connected to an app, and that allows you to kind of keep track of all of these things. And the watch does not need recharging. So, you know, like other fitness watches or whatever that might, you know, step trackers. And the battery kind of, I think it needs replacing once every 2 years or so, depending on how you use all your functions. But again, it is a G-Shock, it's built to last. You're getting 200 meters of water resistance, step tracker. It is a bit on the chunkier side because it's G-Shock, but it will fulfill the needs. And again, I didn't want to feature something that has been featured. I wanted to show you guys there's still more interesting, different watches at that price point. Moving along to the $150 price point, price bracket, whatever you like to call it. We're going to start with the dress category, and in the dress category we have the Kevin Klein Infinite or Infinity, reference number K553414X, and this one comes at $149 on the head for Jomo Shop, I think. Yes, Jomo Shop. I'll leave relevant links in the description box below. This is the controversial pick out of all the watches that we're having a look at today from all angles. This is the perfect example on how a simple name on the dial can change your view on a watch no matter what the specs are. It's just the way you look at it. You know, when you see Kevin Klein, but when you think of all the specs, you go, oh, should I get it? Should I not get it? In my opinion, it's worth every penny. And in the fact that you can still get it for around $150 is a steal. The watch comes with a 42mm case, which for a dress watch standards, it can be a bit big for some, but it's still 10mm thick due to the Swiss-made ETA 2824 movement. Let me say that again. Swiss-made 2824 movement for $150. Name another watch right now for $150 with one of those movements, not to mention sapphire crystal, solid links, solid end links, solid link bracelets. Just name one right now for $150, even for $200. It could say anything on that dial. For that much money, you have to get it. You'd be silly not to. Anyway, it's manufactured by the Swatch Group, so you get quality Swatch Group, Swiss made. And the thing is, the Swatch Group, they have an agreement with Kevin Klein. Don't know what happened there. I don't know how it works, but they can actually manufacture watches under the Kevin Klein name. So it's Swatch Group. It's insane. It's insane. I was still surprised. This is definitely going to jump in price in the next year or so. So whatever models are still there, you can still find it. There's a few dial variants that you can still get. It's insane. It's going to jump up in price. If you can still get it, please do so. Moving on to the casual category in the $150 price point, and it is taken by the Orient Mako 2, and this one comes at $136. I mentioned the Mako before, and honestly, I'll mention it every time I need to. I won't spend a lot of time on this. It's a brilliant choice, and for $136, again, it's still a steal. This one comes with a 41.5mm case, 22mm lug width, an in-house movement with a 40-hour power reserve. It hacks and hand winds. Again, and you're getting a water resistance of 200 meters. This thing was designed to be the SKX's main contender, but like the SKX, I think that the Mako has built its own reputation. It made its own name, and like the SKX, the Mako will be mentioned for many more years to come. The next category that we have in the $150 price point is the sports category, and this one's taken by the Casio Edifice. This is another controversial pick because a lot of people are a bit hesitant to spend $150 on an Edifice, but in my opinion, I think they kind of ticked all the right boxes with this one. And with Edifice, you either love it or hate it. This one comes with a slightly larger 47mm case and 22mm lug width, but the case, like I said, it is a bit larger, but we kind of learned to expect that with the Edifice lineup. It has a sapphire crystal, it's solar powered, and it has a power reserve indicator, and has a water resistance of 100 meters. Again, it comes on a rubber strap, and I'm sure that it's a amazing choice for the money, especially for the Edifice. And it is a bigger watch, but it would be suited for everything that you need to do. I think it has a chronograph function as well. And I think, in my opinion also, there are a lot of watches from the Edifice lineup, especially that have been released recently, that are worth having a look at. And people, I think, they're not giving the Edifice lineup the attention they deserve. Still, an amazing choice, an amazing piece. Anyway, guys, I'll put a picture now with all the watches that we talked about today. Somewhere I'll fit that on the screen. But I hope you enjoyed the three affordable watch collections that I mentioned here today. Again, also put a total on the screen of how much everything cost. And I want to hear your opinion, guys. If you wanted to buy a watch for the total that all these watches cost, what would it be? A watch that does everything that these watches couldn't? Or if you would rather have all these watches? I'm just curious to hear your opinion, guys. Be sure to leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, click a subscribe, like the video. Again, I hope you enjoy the content. Thank you very much for listening to me talking about watches for this long. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. And until next time, guys, I will see you again. Thanks a million. Bye-bye.